For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On a late night in 1998, 34-year-old field biologist Dr. Jonas Becker set out from his isolated research camp in Madre de Dios, Peru, venturing deep along a Blackwater creek. He never returned. Despite an extensive, desperate search by local authorities and fellow researchers, Dr. Becker vanished without a trace into the unforgiving Amazonian jungle. For 27 long years, his fate remained an agonizing, unanswered mystery. Then, decades later, in 2025, a startling discovery was made. A mysterious field notebook, its pages miraculously preserved by tree latex, traded in by a remote local tribe. This is the complete investigation into what happened to Dr. Jonas Becker. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Now let's continue. In the remote expanse of the Peruvian Amazon, the year 1998 unfolded with its characteristic rhythm of life and death, a symphony of unparalleled biodiversity set against a backdrop of unforgiving wilderness. Deep within the Madre de Dios region, where the Blackwater creeks branched off the main river like dark veins, the jungle presented a pristine, yet profoundly perilous environment. It was into this vibrant, untamed world that Dr. Jonas Becker, a 34-year-old field biologist, had ventured. His dedication to his work was absolute, driven by an insatiable curiosity for the natural world, particularly his specialized focus on the nocturnal amphibian life of the rainforest. Dr. Becker's research trip centered around a temporary camp established on the banks of a secluded Blackwater Creek, a tributary of the vast Madre de Dios River. His primary objective involved conducting meticulous night frog surveys, a task requiring him to navigate the waterways under the cloak of darkness, listening for the distinctive calls of various species. On the evening of his disappearance, just as the last vestiges of twilight faded into the deep jungle night, Dr. Becker prepared for his routine survey. He climbed into his small canoe, equipped with his recording gear and headlamp, and pushed off from the camp's muddy bank, disappearing into the dense foliage along the creek. Hours passed with the expected quiet of the jungle, punctuated only by the calls of unseen creatures. However, as dawn approached, a chilling discovery shattered the calm. Dr. Becker's canoe drifted back into the camp's small clearing, silently nudging the bank. It was empty. The immediate shock among his small team, Celia Vargas, the seasoned boatman, and Raul Pinedo, the interpreter, quickly gave way to a profound sense of confusion and dread. The dawning realization of a serious problem hung heavy in the humid air. Without hesitation, a frantic, desperate search began, the vast, labyrinthine nature of the jungle immediately asserting its dominance as an adversary in their urgent quest. The immediate, frantic search that began in the darkness proved futile. As the first light of dawn pierced the dense canopy, illuminating the empty canoe, the grim reality forced Celia Vargas and Raul Pinedo to make the arduous journey back downriver to the nearest settlement. Communication was slow and difficult in 1998, a stark contrast to modern connectivity, yet the gravity of Dr. Becker's disappearance ensured that local authorities were quickly informed. The report then escalated through official channels, eventually reaching international agencies concerned with missing citizens abroad. A more organized search commenced, involving local police, military personnel, and experienced jungle guides, often led by Celia and Raul, who possessed intimate knowledge of the specific area. They meticulously retraced Becker's last known path, probing the murky depths of the Blackwater Creek, slogging through the thick undergrowth, and calling out his name into the vast silence. Every fallen log, every hidden alcove, every stretch of riverbank was scrutinized. Celia Vargas, with her deep understanding of the river's currents, guided boats upstream and down, while Raul Pinedo helped coordinate efforts with the local communities, hoping for any sign, any rumor. Yet the jungle offered no easy answers. There were no broken branches, no footprints, no discarded equipment. Speculation quickly arose among the searchers and authorities. Had Becker fallen from his canoe, perhaps hitting his head in the dark and been swept away? Was it an encounter with one of the Amazon's formidable predators, a jaguar, a caiman, or a venomous snake? Or had he simply become disoriented, lost in the bewildering labyrinth of the rainforest, a common and often fatal mistake for even experienced outsiders. Without a single tangible clue, each theory remained equally plausible and equally unprovable. The Amazon itself seemed to conspire against the searchers. The relentless heat and oppressive humidity sapped energy, while the dense canopy blocked sunlight, making visibility poor even in broad daylight. Swarms of biting insects, treacherous currents, and the sheer scale of the wilderness turned every step into a battle. The Blackwater Creek, with its tannin-stained depths, concealed whatever secrets lay beneath its surface, refusing to yield any evidence of Dr. Becker. The jungle was not merely a backdrop, it was an active, overwhelming force, patiently devouring all traces. Days bled into weeks. The initial surge of urgency gradually waned as the vastness of the task became clear. Resources dwindled, and the sheer impossibility of finding a single man in such an immense, unforgiving landscape began to take its toll. The search parties, exhausted and disheartened, slowly pulled back. Hope, once a flickering flame, grew dimmer with each passing day, eventually extinguishing itself, leaving behind only the cold, hard reality of an unsolved mystery. Dr. Jonas Becker had vanished, swallowed whole by the Amazon, leaving no trace. The weeks of exhaustive searching eventually yielded to the inevitable. With no body, no conclusive evidence, and no witnesses to his final moments, Dr. Jonas Becker's disappearance was officially classified as a missing person case. The Peruvian authorities, after exhausting all avenues within their limited resources, were forced to deem the case insoluble. The files were closed, relegated to archives, a stark testament to the Amazon's capacity to consume and conceal. A dedicated field biologist, driven by a passion for discovery, had simply vanished, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a chilling void. 27 years would pass, an unfathomable span of time that saw the world outside the jungle transform beyond recognition. Technologies advanced, political landscapes shifted, and generations came and went. For those who remembered, the passage of time did little to diminish the ache of the unknown. In the quiet corners of the Madre de Dios region, the memory of the vanished gringo researcher persisted, a lingering shadow in the collective consciousness. For Celia Vargas and Raul Pinedo, the incident remained a profound scar. The image of the empty canoe, the frantic, fruitless search, and the crushing weight of their failure to locate Dr. Becker haunted them. It was a missing piece in their own histories, a puzzle forever incomplete, echoing in the rustling leaves and the distant calls of the jungle. The official file on Dr. Jonas Becker became a cold case, a dormant record gathering dust in some government repository, largely forgotten by all but a few dedicated individuals. It was a testament to the fact that not all mysteries can be solved, especially when confronted by the sheer, overwhelming power of nature. There was no expectation of new information ever surfacing. The vastness of the Amazon had proven itself an impenetrable vault, its dense foliage and swirling currents guarding its secrets with an unyielding grip. For his family, the closure offered by a body or a definitive explanation remained an elusive comfort, replaced instead by the agonizing burden of perpetual uncertainty. Becker's disappearance settled into the annals of unsolved jungle mysteries, a cautionary tale whispered among those who dared to venture deep into the rainforest. His scientific mission, so meticulously planned and passionately pursued, had been abruptly cut short, leaving behind a legacy not of discovery but of an enduring, frustrating enigma. The jungle held its secrets close, and for nearly 3 decades, Dr. Jonas Becker remained one of them, a ghost in the vast green heart of the world. 27 years had passed since Dr. Jonas Becker vanished, a span of time long enough for his disappearance to fade from public memory, becoming little more than a footnote in the vast untamed history of the Amazon. Yet the jungle, in its own enigmatic way, held on to its secrets, occasionally choosing an opportune moment to surrender them. That moment arrived not through a grand expedition or a dedicated search, but through the unassuming channels of local commerce. Deep within the Madre de Dios region, a group of indigenous villagers from a remote tribe made their periodic journey to a small riverside trading post, exchanging handcrafted goods and forest products for essential supplies. Among their offerings, nestled between woven baskets and medicinal plants, lay a peculiar, weathered item. It was a small, unassuming field notebook, its covers stiff and discolored, yet remarkably intact. What immediately struck the attention of a curious local official overseeing the trade was its unusual preservation. The pages, instead of crumbling into dust, appeared to be laminated, coated with a hardened, translucent layer. Further inspection revealed this protective film to be tree latex, meticulously applied page by its original owner. This ingenious method had shielded the delicate paper and ink from the relentless humidity and ravages of time for nearly 3 decades. The unique artifact, a testament to its creator's foresight, was recognized as potentially significant and quickly forwarded to regional authorities. The notebook's arrival at a provincial research institute sparked immediate intrigue. Its contents, though faded in places, were still legible. Initial examination by a team of archivists and forensic specialists revealed meticulous handwriting, detailed scientific observations, and precise anatomical sketches of amphibians. The discovery of a name and date on the first page sent a ripple of astonishment through the small team. Dr. Jonas Becker, Madre de Dios, 1998. The confirmation was swift and undeniable. This was the long-lost notebook of the vanished field biologist, a silent witness to his final days. For nearly 3 decades, the case had been a cold file, a lingering question mark in the heart of the Amazon. Now, suddenly, an unexpected and remarkable surge of hope ignited. The carefully preserved pages, a time capsule from a forgotten era, promised to unlock the secrets of Becker's disappearance, offering the potential to finally shed light on one of the Amazon's most enduring and heartbreaking mysteries. The jungle had finally yielded a clue, and the investigation, dormant for so long, was poised to awaken. The discovery of Dr. Becker's notebook, preserved against all odds, compelled an immediate re-evaluation of his cold case. 27 years after his disappearance, the Peruvian Ministry of Justice, in collaboration with international scientific bodies, officially reopened the investigation. This time, the approach would be radically different. The intervening decades had seen revolutionary advancements in forensic science, archival analysis, and ecological mapping, techniques entirely unavailable in 1998. The task was now to apply these modern tools to a relic from the past, hoping to extract truths the jungle had long guarded. Central to this renewed effort was the recruitment of Dr. Hana Kato, a bioacoustician of international renown. Her expertise lay in the intricate study of soundscapes, the analysis of biological and environmental sounds to understand ecosystems and animal behavior. Dr. Kato possessed a unique ability to interpret the subtle nuances of acoustic data, making her uniquely suited to decipher the specialized scientific observations meticulously recorded in Becker's field journal. Her role would prove pivotal in transforming abstract scientific notes into tangible clues. The painstaking process of deciphering the laminated pages began. Each page, brittle with age yet protected by its latex coating, was carefully photographed, digitized, and analyzed under controlled conditions. Dr. Becker's handwriting, while precise, was riddled with scientific shorthand, species codes, and ecological terminology familiar only to a dedicated field biologist. Initial challenges involved understanding his personal system of notation and the specific data he chose to record. It was a slow, methodical archaeological excavation of information. As Dr. Kato delved deeper, a recurring pattern began to emerge from the dense observations. Interspersed among the frog surveys and botanical descriptions were frequent, detailed references to specific bird choruses. These were not merely casual observations, but precise notations of bird species, their calls, and the approximate times they were heard. Dr. Kato recognized these entries as far more than incidental data. Bioacoustics, her field, was founded on the principle that specific environmental sounds, particularly the collective vocalizations of a bird chorus, are often highly localized and can act as acoustic fingerprints for a particular area. Different species sing at different times and in different habitats. A hypothesis began to form in Dr. Kato's mind. These bird chorus notes, rather than being solely research data, held the potential to be a meticulously detailed, albeit unintentional map of Dr. Becker's movements. If the precise locations of these unique soundscapes could be identified, they might not only describe his research, but also trace his final journey through the labyrinthine waterways of the Madre de Dios. The notebook, once a record of a scientific mission, was slowly revealing itself as a silent witness to his last known whereabouts. Dr. Hana Kato's meticulous analysis of Dr. Becker's notebook transcended mere deciphering. It became an act of scientific reconstruction. The breakthrough arrived not as a sudden flash, but as a gradual, undeniable realization. The recurring bird chorus notes, initially perceived as supplementary ecological data, revealed themselves to be far more profound. Dr. Kato recognized that Becker, with his precise scientific methodology, had inadvertently created a navigational map. Each entry, detailing specific species, their calls, and the exact times of their vocalizations, acted as an acoustic waypoint, a unique sonic fingerprint of a particular location and moment in time. He wasn't just observing the forest, he was charting it through its sounds. Utilizing sophisticated bioacoustic software and a vast database of Amazonian soundscapes, Dr. Kato began to cross-reference Becker's notes with historical environmental audio recordings and geographical data from the Madre de Dios region. The calls of specific antbirds, tinnimus and cotingas, recorded by Becker at precise times, allowed Dr. Kato to overlay these acoustic signatures onto high-resolution satellite imagery and topographical maps. Each distinct chorus, with its unique species composition and temporal pattern, could only have originated from a very specific habitat type at a particular bend in the creek, or a certain density of foliage. It was a painstaking process, but the patterns emerged with remarkable clarity. The culmination of this intricate work led to a pivotal moment, the precise pinpointing of the exact creek fork where Dr. Becker had been conducting his final surveys. His notes detailed a chorus specific to an area of inundated forest, a habitat that only forms under certain conditions. This geographical link, established with unprecedented accuracy, was a monumental leap from the vague search area of nearly 3 decades prior. But the revelation did not end there. Interspersed within Becker's observational data were subtle yet critical environmental cues. References to unusually high water levels, strong currents, and a distinct roar of water all indicated a significant hydrological event. Dr. Kato cross-referenced these observations with historical meteorological data for 1998, confirming a period of intense unseasonal rainfall that had led to a peak flood event in the Madre de Dios basin during the time of Becker's disappearance. This reframed everything. His final movements were not in tranquil waters, but during a period of extreme environmental peril. The combination of the precisely mapped route and the confirmed peak flood condition provided a chillingly plausible scenario for Dr. Becker's disappearance. He had been intensely focused on his research, meticulously documenting the bird choruses at a specific, now identified creek fork during a period when the river was at its most treacherous. The jungle, in its profound power, had not simply swallowed him without a trace. It had revealed its secret through the echoes of his own dedication. The intricate reconstruction of Dr. Jonas Becker's final hours, meticulously pieced together by Dr. Hana Kato, culminated in a chillingly probable explanation for his disappearance. The evidence derived from his own scientific observations suggested that Becker, intensely focused on documenting the unique bird choruses at the precisely identified creek fork, was caught off guard by the sudden and overwhelming force of the peak flood. The unseasonal deluge, confirmed by historical meteorological data, transformed the familiar Blackwater Creek into a raging torrent. It is highly likely that, engrossed in his research, perhaps even recording the heightened sounds of the flood itself, he was swept from his canoe and carried away by the powerful currents, lost to the depths of the swollen Madre de Dios. The jungle had not merely swallowed him, it had actively claimed him during a moment of profound environmental upheaval. For nearly 3 decades, the absence of Dr. Becker had been an open wound, a mystery that gnawed at the edges of memory. The discovery of his notebook and the subsequent revelation of his final moments offered a profound and unexpected form of closure. While no physical remains were recovered, The understanding of what likely happened provided a tangible answer, replacing the agonizing void of the unknown with a sorrowful yet definitive narrative. The news resonated deeply with those who had known him. For Celia Vargas, the seasoned boatman, and Raúl Pinedo, the interpreter, the revelation brought a complex mix of grief and relief. The lingering guilt of not knowing, the haunting image of the empty canoe, could finally be laid to rest. There was a quiet vindication in understanding that their initial frantic search had been against an insurmountable force of nature, rather than a simple misstep or accident. Dr. Hana Kato's pivotal contribution underscored the transformative power of modern science. Her expertise in bioacoustics had bridged a 27-year gap, transforming a collection of seemingly disparate scientific notes into a coherent, compelling story. It was a testament to how cutting-edge analytical tools, applied to even the oldest of clues, could illuminate the darkest corners of an unsolved mystery. Ultimately, the story became a poignant reflection on Dr. Jonas Becker's enduring passion. His meticulous dedication to his work, his foresight in laminating his notebook with tree latex, unintentionally provided the very key to his own vanishing. His final act of scientific observation, the recording of a bird chorus, became his silent witness, an echo across decades that finally revealed his fate. The Amazon, in its immense and indifferent power, had taken him, but through the echoes of his own dedication, it had also eventually revealed its secret. The human quest for understanding persists, and sometimes the truth surfaces in the most unexpected ways, even after decades of silence.